it's so wonderful to interact with people and to realize that they had some shame about it. I mean, my only fear when I got it, I wasn't even scared or sad. I was saying yesterday to someone, I made some crocodile tears because I thought that's what you were supposed to do when you got a diagnosis, but I was actually relieved to at least feel like I was among you. Other people feel isolated. I felt like, oh, I have a human disease. I am human. So I felt like, oh, we'll take care of it. I also thought it would be fleeting because I do know other actors that have it and they continue, and some are quiet about it. People have it and don't say anything. So, but my symptoms were kind of, flamboyant, and I have glitches for me that and I had finally gotten a job and I had to tell them, and they were wonderful. Yeah. And then when I saw how much I actually needed help, I was like, oh, I have to thank these people. So that it really came out of that. And I also didn't want people to think I was drunk because I have a history of that. So I'm sober and I'm so proud of it. So that was really the reason. I'd rather someone think, oh, she's gonna be in a wheelchair than she's opened the minibar. That was like better for me. So, but I see other people really were so comforted that I wore a cane to a glamorous event, which I didn't even think about. I just didn't want to fall. Right. And that it means something to them. It's like, oh, well, I'm glad I'm useful now for a bit, because I do see so many people get so isolated in these chronic diseases.
So you're one of the most celebrated doctors on this earth. And you had a mother that you diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and you look back and you said publicly that you saw the symptoms before and you feel horrible, you didn't do anything about it.
Much easier to recognize the symptoms when they're behind you in a huge screen and you're talking to everybody about what they ought to be looking for. But when it's in your own family, and I'm not alone, because I heard more feedback on this story than ever I would have imagined. And it's not just that there's 16 million people taking care of all the folks who are ill who have Alzheimer's, and there are about 5.5 million of those folks. But the deeper reality that we lost our truth in my family. And I think the biggest lies we tell, the lies we tell each other. And in our families, those lies are especially pervasive, because no one wants to be the sibling who puts their hand up and says, something's wrong with Selma over here. She's dragging her leg. Maybe someone should tell her to get an MRI scan, because her doctor's not doing that. And in my family, it's fed into a much deeper pathology, and it's all about trust.